says the Prime Minister. I hope you'll allow me to say a few words that come from the heart. This is the sixth time. This is the sixth time. This is the sixth time that I am presenting a government headed by me and to ask for the confidence of the Knesset.
And we're going to have to stop you right there. Incoming Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu taking the podium at the plenum. Now let's listen in.
Distinguished President Yitzhak Herzog and his wife Michal, the President of the Supreme Court, Justice Esther Chayut. I don't see if David Chayut is here. Speaker of the Knesset, Amir Ohana, and his partner, Amir Haddad, Knesset members, and especially my good friends, the head of the factions of the new coalition who have worked so well in cooperation with us, ministers of the designated government, my fellow citizens. The new government is setting out on its journey today in the middle of Israel's 75th year. This is an important milestone.
קריאה ראשונה, חבר הכנסת שירי. אני רוצה שתהיו בשקט. מה כבר ביקשתי? שתהיו בשקט כשהבנתי להם? בבקשה. נאור שירי, קריאה שנייה.
The Speaker is calling upon the members of the Knesset to keep silent, calling some members by name before they are forcibly ejected. The new government is setting out on its journey today in the middle of Israel's 75th year. In the first 25 years of the state, the foundations were set in all areas. We absorbed a huge amount of immigration, and we fought difficult wars forced upon us by our enemies. In the next 25 years, we saw a foundational and pivotal political upheaval, and we signed peace agreements with previous enemies. In the next 25 years, we accelerated the transition to a free economy, and I am proud of the privilege I had to lead reforms in this area. We made Israel a technological and innovational powerhouse, and we signed 4 historic peace agreements with Arab countries. We now look forward to the next 25 years, which will bring us to Israel's centenary. In the next 4 years, we'll work so that when we celebrate Israel's 100th anniversary, Israel will be a world powerhouse that flourishes and is strong, whose existence will no longer be cast in doubt. For that reason, we must carry out 3 important tasks. The first, to frustrate Iran's ability to develop a nuclear arsenal that will threaten us and the entire world.
חברי הכנסת, בבקשה. גם לנו יש גבולות, אי אפשר לבוא לפה ולשמוע את השקרים האלה. פעם אחרונה כן, בקריאה שנייה. אתה לא תסתום את הפה שלך. חברת הכנסת מאי גולן.
opposition members are calling out weak in unison. We will ensure Israel's military superiority by continual strengthening. The first task is to make sure that Iran does not destroy us with an atom bomb. And you are taking that lightly, as if that is a small thing. Thank you very much. The members of the new coalition are applauding. You who supported the nuclear agreement, why don't you listen? You may learn something. Who are you to mock us? What are you talking about? The second task is to develop Israel's infrastructures, including, and listen well, you may laugh, but remember what I am saying today, to develop a bullet train that will travel hundreds of kilometers an hour, that will connect the country from the very north to the very south. We want to do away with the periphery and cause every area of Israel to flourish. The third task is to continue to expand the circle of peace with Arab countries in order to put an end to the Israeli-Arab conflict. These are the three meta goals of our country and our government, and we will not make do with that. The new government will also address other crucial areas to restore quiet and personal security and governability to the state of Israel. We are determined to address the cost of living and the price of housing and to improve the education system for all of Israel's children. We are determined to improve Israel's education system for all of Israel's children, Jews and Arabs, religious and secular, without any exception. Knesset members, I don't need to hear your shouts in order to know that there are among us some disagreements, but there is a broad agreement between us among these tasks that face us, although not for all. I hear the cries of the opposition about the end of democracy, the end of the state. Losing an election is not the end of democracy. It is the essence of democracy. A democratic government is tested, a democratic state is tested first of all by the willingness of the losing side to accept the decision of the majority. In an enlightened democracy, the rules of the game are respected. We saw this in another context in the World Cup. The French fans were disappointed, but they accepted the outcome. And they even applauded the Argentinian team. I know that you won't applaud me, but I do expect you to respect the decision of the electorate and stop calling for rebellion against the government. In a democracy, you don't climb over the fence of the parliament or the capital and try to break into the Knesset. When you lose, you don't say you have to attack the people, you have to respect the people. I am proud of everything we have achieved until now. The peace agreements, the gas we have taken out of the sea that has turned Israel into an energy powerhouse, our victory over COVID, and many, many other achievements. I am proud that we work together and that we pass this golden age of Israel, and that's exactly what we continue to do for the benefit of all Israel's citizens without any exception. And now the Speaker asked the Knesset members to stop applauding. I'm going to start feeling like Messi, says the Prime Minister. I hope you'll allow me to say a few words that come from the heart. This is the sixth time. This is the sixth time. This is the sixth time that I am presenting a government headed by me and to ask for the confidence of the Knesset. And I am moved as much as the first time. The sense of mission to ensure the security and future of our state, I draw from the heritage of my grandfather, Rabbi Natan Milikovsky Netanyahu, from my parents of blessed memory, Tzila and Professor Ben-Zion Netanyahu, from my brother Yoni, who fell in Entebbe. The strength to lead I received from you, millions of Israeli citizens who share our path and vision, and first and foremost from my dear and beloved family, from my wife Sarah, who is here today and who is always at my side, and from my sons Yair and Avner, who are always at my side, and from you, my dear ones. This is another opportunity to say thank you. You are the strength of my life, and I love you very, very much. Netanyahu is making the Shechayanu prayer, the blessing.
Amen.
Now we're going to list off some more key positions for you that Benjamin Netanyahu noted in alphabetical order in the new government. As we know, Benjamin Netanyahu will be the new Prime Minister, Amir Ohana, the Knesset Speaker, Itamar Ben-Gvir, the National Security Minister, Yoav Gallant, the Defense Minister, Eli Cohen, the Foreign Minister, Aryeh Deri, the Interior and Health Minister, Yariv Levin, the Justice Minister, Bezalel Smotrich, the Finance finance minister and a minister position in the Defense Department. Yoav Kisk, the education minister. Chaim Katz, the tourism minister. Yoav Kisk, the education minister. Avi Dichter, the agricultural and rural development minister. Shlomo Karhi, the communications minister. Miri Regev, the transportation minister. Edith Silman, the environmental protections minister. Miki Zohar, the culture and sports minister. And Ophir Akunis, the science and technology minister. Let's bring back.
Look, as I said before, Hamda, obviously in a day like this at the Israeli Knesset, lots of buzz, all kinds of media here, politicians walking around, everyone trying to say what they want about how this government is going to be playing out. We saw, all of us, how it played out inside the plenum, all of the interruptions that faced incoming Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as he went through his speech, and a different approach that, of course, Yair Lapid took. Obviously, as I said, a lot of excitement inside the building, as you mentioned, the protest outside, and of course, Hamda, this is just the beginning. We're hearing it in studio, we're seeing it on our screens, what lies ahead, and the controversies that this government may well kick up over the coming days, weeks, and months.
On April the 30th, 2007, just a little over 3 years ago, Israel Today ran this amazing headline story. Rabbi reveals the name of the Messiah. Rabbi Itzhak Kaduri was famously known for his memorization of the Bible, the Talmud, and other Jewish writings. He was a teacher and a revered master at Nahalat Yitzhak Yeshiva Seminary. He knew Jewish sages and celebrities of the last century and rabbis who lived in the Holy Land who kept the faith alive before the state of Israel was even born. Kaduri was not only highly esteemed because of his age of 108, but he was charismatic and wise. Chief rabbis looked up to him as a righteous man. Thousands visited him to ask for counsel or healing. His followers speak of many miracles, and his students say that he was a prophet of many disasters. A few months before Kaduri died at the age of 108, he surprised his followers when he told them that he had personally met the Messiah. The Messiah had appeared to him. He wrote the name of the Messiah in a note, he said. His official website had mentioned the Messiah note. David Kaduri, the rabbi's 80-year-old son, confirmed that in his last year his father had talked and dreamed almost exclusively about the Messiah and his coming. My father has met the Messiah in a vision, he said, and he told us that he was coming very soon. Kaduri gave a message in his synagogue on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, teaching how to recognize the Messiah. He also mentioned that the Messiah would appear to Israel after Ariel Sharon passed. When Kaduri died, January the 28th, 2006, more than 200,000 people joined the funeral procession on the streets of Jerusalem to pay their respects as he was taken to his final resting place. Shortly before he died, this teacher of Israel wrote the name of the Messiah on a small note which he requested would remain sealed for 1 year. 1 year later, the note was opened in 2007. When the note was opened, it read as follows: Concerning the letter abbreviation of the Messiah's name, he will lift the people and prove that his word and law are valid. The Hebrew sentence with the hidden name of the Messiah reads like this. The acronym of that sentence, that is, the letter abbreviation that Kaduri spoke of, or the first initials of each word, spell the Hebrew name of Jesus, or Yehoshua, or Yeshua, the Hebrew root word of salvation. When the name of Yehoshua appeared in Kaduri's message, ultra-Orthodox Jews from his seminary in Jerusalem argued that their master must not have left the exact solution for decoding the Messiah's name. The revelation received scant coverage in the Israeli media. Only the Hebrew websites News First Class and Kaduri.net mentioned the Messiah's note, both of them insisting that it was authentic. Israel Today spoke to two of Kaduri's followers in Jerusalem who admitted that the note was authentic, but very confusing for his followers as well. We have no idea how the rabbi got to this name of the Messiah, one of them said. I know this. The answer of the identity of the Messiah as Jesus, given to Kaduri supposedly, is absolute truth. As such, I believe it had to have been revealed from Jesus himself appearing to Kaduri, much the same as Jesus appeared to the Jewish Pharisee, Paul, on the road to Damascus 2,000 years ago. It is amazing that the leading Jewish teacher of Israel until 2006 would, on his deathbed, proclaim in a message that Jesus Christ is the Messiah and is soon to return. That is astounding and almost unthinkable. It is also amazing that he was specifically told that Jesus would return shortly after Ariel Sharon's death. As of the making of this film, Ariel Sharon is still alive, in a coma. Could it be that this modern-day Apostle Paul received from the Lord Jesus that his return is indeed very, very soon?
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People. Today is December 28th, 2022. And I want to share some things with you guys today that I have considered here and seen. And as I was in the middle of this study, I received an amazing revelation. And so this is what I want to share with you. Okay, where are we right now? I want to consider where we are as far as the connection to Hanukkah that we already have with the announcement of the new government on December 21st. And we are coming up on Thursday, December 29th, which everything seems to be in place right now. The coalition governments and parties have signed agreements. I don't know if all of them have, but at least 3 or 4 of them have already signed the agreements. And they're on track for swearing in of the new government on Thursday. And then if you go to the 37th government of Israel, which is going to be the 6th Netanyahu cabinet, the 6th time he is going to be prime minister, it shows it is planned for January 2nd of 2023. Now that was the cutoff date of the last opportunity. Everything has to be finalized by January 2nd. Okay, but they're moving it up and they're getting it done by December 29th. As we speak right now, everything that I have seen shows that everything is on track for the formalization of the government tomorrow, December 29th. And Benjamin Netanyahu will be sworn in on Thursday, December 29th, 2022. Okay, so we have 3 dates, okay? We have 3 dates that are important in this. The key dates are December 21st, which was the announcement, okay? The announcement came on December 21st. There was even a midnight deadline there. And before midnight on December 21st, he had to get the call in to President Herzog. And he made a phone call before midnight on December 21st and announced that he had everything in place to start the new government. So that was December 21st. And that was Hanukkah, the 27th day of Kislev. That is where this all began, December 21st. Then we have the second date that is key in all of this is December 29th. And that is the vote that looks to be in place for tomorrow. And it's a 7 or 8 day warning from December 21st. Okay, so the second key date is December 29th. And that seems to be in place for the finalization and the swearing in of the government. Then we have the actual day that is the final day, and according to Wikipedia, the 37th government of Israel is planned for January 2nd, 2023. The date is to be disclosed. And so we are looking now at December 29th. But all of these dates are interesting and very important, and let us consider everything that they are showing to us, or all of the prophetic implications that are connected to all of this. Okay, so we have the midnight cry, okay? Where's the midnight cry? At midnight on December 21st, we had a phone call that was made. Very important in all of this. Then we have the actual formation of the government on December 29th, and then we have the final date that it could have gone to up until January 2nd. Now, look at we already showed you here on the 27th of Kislev, the date of the winter solstice. But if we look at the other date shown here on January 2nd to January 3rd, you're going to see that it is the day of 10 Tevet, and it's the day of the destruction of the walls, the siege of Jerusalem. The walls of Jerusalem were taken down, and Nebuchadnezzar came in, and the captivity began on the 10th of Tevet. This was like the beginning of the siege of Jerusalem, the beginning of the captivity process, right here on the 10th of Tevet. It's a fast day in Israel, a remembrance of the walls of Jerusalem being torn down, and they were besieged by Nebuchadnezzar. All of this is written according to, in the Torah calendar, it shows you what happened on this day, and then you can read about it in 2 Kings 25, Jeremiah 42, Ezekiel 24, and Zechariah 8. All of that is written there. We have 3 key days now. Let's read this prophecy together. I wanted to start out this video by showing you the prophecy of Rabbi Kaduri and how he revealed who the Messiah was. And it was all cryptic based on a sentence that he put in there, that the Lord will lift up his people and prove his word. Okay? But within the phrase there, you have written an acronym, the first letter of each word, and it wrote out Jehoshua or Yeshua or Jesus, okay? And so within the letter he wrote, there was a cryptic coded message about who the Messiah is. All right, so within this prophecy, let's read together this prophecy. On the eve of the year 5780, the year of corrections, there will not be a government in Israel for an extended period, and the various camps will quarrel much without a decision on either side, and then, on Rosh Hashanah itself, they will fight in heaven, the holy side against the side of evil, and God and his entourage will decide between them. And this is all I can say, and from here I swore not to reveal more secrets and hidden things. This was written by Rabbi Kaduri in 1979. Then there was a prophecy written by Rabbi Shoshani. There will come on the day that 2 ministers win the government in the land of Israel. Both their names will be Benjamin, and neither of them will succeed in establishing their government or kingship. On that day, know and understand that the King Messiah already stands at the doorway, and on the Sabbath afterwards, he will come and be revealed. Shoshani's statement continues, understand this and remember it. The following portion is recorded in the Sanhedrin Tractate 98a, and this is in an official record in the Knesset archives. The disciples of Rabbi Hosea ben Kisma asked him, when will the Messiah come? He answered, I fear lest ye demand a sign of me that my answer is correct. They assured him, we will demand no sign of you. So he answered them, when this gate falls down, is rebuilt, falls again, and is again rebuilt, and then falls a third time, before it can be rebuilt, the Son of David will come. Okay? And so we have a number of portions within this, The first thing that we see is that from the year 5780, there was an extended period of time where they had elections in Israel and there was no government. Okay, that was true. That has happened, and since 2018, there has not been a government in Israel. Okay, so this government that is being formed here now, that looks to be like tomorrow is going to be the day. Okay, tomorrow is going to be the day of the new government. Okay, this is the first time in almost 4 years now that there's been a government in Israel. So the first portion of this prophecy was completely true. There will not be a government in Israel for an extended period. The various camps will quarrel much without a decision on either side. Okay, so that has happened. Second portion of the prophecy. There will come on the day that two ministers will win the government in the land of Israel. Both their names will be Benjamin, and neither of them will succeed in establishing their government or kingship. Okay, so we have two Benjamins, Benjamin Gantz and Benjamin Netanyahu. They were dealing with the government trying to form a coalition. First Benjamin Netanyahu tried, then Benny Gantz tried. Neither Benjamin was successful in building a government. Neither of them succeeded in establishing their government or kingship. Okay. On that day, know and understand that the King Messiah already stands at the doorway, and on the Sabbath afterwards, he will come and be revealed. Okay, now we have two portions of the prophecy. One is that there are going to be two Benjamins. That was fulfilled. Okay, there were two Benjamins, and neither of them succeeded in forming a government. And then it says, on the Sabbath afterward, he will come and be revealed. Okay, and the third portion of the prophecy says that before the new government can be rebuilt, the Son of David will come. So you have two sides of this. You have on the Sabbath afterwards, and you have that the Son of David will come before it can be rebuilt. Okay? Well, I want to consider all of this with where we are and the specific key dates within all of this. The key dates were December 21st, which is Hanukkah. Then we have December 29th, the forming of the new government, and the actual finalization date, or the last possible date of the government being formed, would be January 2nd, 2023. Now, could all of this apply to everything we are seeing here now? This prophecy, could it all apply to what we are seeing exactly right now? So when you talk about the Sabbath afterwards, the Messiah will appear. Okay, the Sabbath afterwards. Okay, so if we're looking at December 29th as the formation of the government, then maybe we would be looking at the Sabbath afterwards, which would be this coming weekend. And then it says, before it can be rebuilt, the Son of David will come. Okay, so before. Now, when you talk about the rebuilding, and we're talking about the date of January 2nd, as the date of the rebuilding, which is already actually, I mean, the government hasn't even been formed yet, but in Wikipedia, it's already got January 2nd. Okay, January 2nd is already written. It's planned for January 2nd. Okay, and so that is the day of the destruction of the walls in Jerusalem, the 10th day of Tevet, the day the walls were taken down, and now we have a connection here to it being rebuilt before it can be rebuilt. And so there's a connection between January 2nd and the walls being taken down and the rebuilding that they're planning for the same day, January 2nd. Okay, so now we have Sabbath afterwards, the Messiah will appear, but it also shows before it can be rebuilt, the Son of David will come. And so maybe that's the reason why there are two specific dates within this process, because you have December 29th, which is the formation of the government, and it says the Sabbath afterwards, the Messiah will appear, and before it can be rebuilt, the Son of David will come. So both of these prophecies are pointing to the same time frame, from December 29th to the following Sabbath, and then from January 2nd to the previous Sabbath. So this weekend, would be December 30th and December 31st. Now, here's the revelation I received. And this is the reason why I started out this video with the clip of the history of Rabbi Kaduri and how it all came about, that he revealed who the Messiah was through a cryptic letter that he wrote. And the letter was not even opened until a year after he died. But in the letter, it gave a cryptic statement. And then within the cryptic statement, the acronym was there that the first letter of each word formed Yehoshua, Yeshua, Jesus. And so it was in this cryptic letter that the name of the Messiah was revealed. Well, this prophecy is so precise, and everything has happened to perfection up until now, with no government in Israel, two Benjamins in Israel that neither of them established their government or kingship. Could it be that there is another cryptic statement within this declaration that is also revealing to us the timing or even the day of the coming of the Messiah? And just as his previous note was an acronym written within it, coded in the note was the name of the Messiah, Yeshua. Now we have this prophecy that was given by Rabbi Kaduri. And how does the prophecy begin? On the eve of the year 5780. Let us read that again. On the eve of the year. The whole prophecy begins. The whole prophecy begins on New Year's Eve. Is this a cryptic statement within the letter, not only revealing this information about the governments and this prophecy about the coming Messiah, but also giving to us the coded message on New Year's Eve? All of this will be fulfilled. I don't even know what to say, brothers and sisters. I don't even know what to say. This time frame from tomorrow, December 29th, going to the Sabbath afterwards, and going from January 2nd, the day of the rebuilding, showing us that the Messiah will come before, then we have a conjunction now at New Year's Eve. The Sabbath afterwards. The Sabbath before it can be rebuilt. The Sabbath afterwards from December 29th. And the Sabbath before it can be rebuilt on January 2nd is December 30th and 31st, 2022, New Year's Eve. And the whole prophecy began on New Year's Eve. Rabbi Kaduri says that he met the Messiah. And all of this will soon be known, how much the Messiah actually revealed to Rabbi Kaduri. I pray you guys are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher, a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.